As Gabriel emerged from the van, he could feel the wave of disappointment hit him. They were expecting something more. Fangs, wings, or something, not an ordinary-looking guy. Gabriel smiled at them all, something he hadn't done in a long time, and he felt the warmth of these people's smile back at him. "This is Evan, Gabriel," the professor said, pointing at the dark-skinned guy clutching the skateboard under his arm. "Hiya," Evan said. "Gabriel will be staying in the free room in your part of the building. Could you show him to it, and show him around, please?" "Certainly, Professor," Evan said, moving toward Gabriel with his hand outstretched. "I'm Evan, you can call me Spike as well." "Okay, Spike as well," Gabriel joked as Evan eyed him suspiciously. "You're going to fit in just fine. So my assignment is to take photos of Madeline Pride?" "That's fantastic, boss lady, you really are a lot better than I give you credit for," Toad said before being side-kicked into a wall. "Shut up and listen, worm. You will do this assignment, the rest of you will make sure that the rest of the X-Mice are kept too busy to do anything to help her. Shockwave, I want you to find the new mutant and see just how strong his powers really are. If he lets his emotions rule him like I think he does, then we have a huge weakness to exploit. Now get to it." "Sure thing, boss lady," Toad said, rubbing his shoulder. Gabriel awoke with a start. Well, almost he hadn't really slept. His mind was in turmoil. Every time he closed his eyes, he could see his father pushing through the crowd, getting slashed and clubbed as he tried to save him. Gabriel couldn't help but wonder what he would have done if the X-Mice hadn't stepped in. No, actually he knew the answer to that question. He would have let Mystique help him and joined her, not only willingly but happily. He would have waged war on humanity with a song in his heart and a smile on his face. But now he was going to become one of the X-Mice, a protector, so that others like him could develop their powers, and eventually, when powers were the norm, nobody would be discriminated against. A pipe dream. Gabriel knew it would never happen, but he had to try, else he would become so disillusioned with the system he would try to destroy it, like the Brotherhood Professor Yaffle had told him about. But first, Gabriel needed a name. He had to have something like Shadowcat, Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Wolverine, or Rogue, something cool. But what? His powers were to repel, but that would be a bad name. "Fear me, for I am Repel." Gabriel laughed at himself. No, he wanted something better. "Why not Force?" Professor Yaffle's voice said inside his head. Gabriel hated the idea of the psychic mutants reading his mind all the time, but he guessed it would yet another thing to adjust to. "It seems too powerful. I don't want my name to be arrogant. I want to be a defender, not an attacker," Gabriel said, voicing his thoughts more articulately than he thought he could. "Well, there is a question that only you can answer. Perhaps speaking to Storm could help. She is very wise in matters of the heart." "Thank you, Professor," Gabriel said, trying to quiet his thoughts so he could sleep. "Stinky, poopy baby." Madeline awoke with a start. Rogue's voice had sounded so real, but it was just a dream. Sure, it was Sugar. Madeline sat straight up. There at her door was Rogue, fully clothed and holding Madeline's bed sheets in her left hand. In her right was a baby bottle. "How, when, why, what's going on, Rogue?" Madeline demanded. "Don't get fussy, Ma, little kitten," Rogue teased. She moved into Madeline's room, leaving the sheets outside, and closed the door. "I just came to make sure your diaper was wet." Madeline looked down, hoping that what she was feeling against her skin was wrong. Unfortunately it wasn't. She had once again wet her diaper. "Gonna cry?" Rogue asked. "No." Madeline spat at Rogue. "Don't get fussy, Sugar, or I'll get Ma camera." "What do you want, Rogue?" "To feed you." "What?" "Don't shout, baby, or else you will attract unwanted attention to your condition." "You want to feed me?" "Why?" "It's the second most demeaning thing I can do to you." Madeline knew what the first was, so she decided not push Rogue. "Okay then." Madeline sulked.